Welcome, horror lovers and brave souls. Tonight, we walk into darkness. I'm your host, and this is your ultimate Halloween ranking of 2025's most bone-chilling films, from the most heart-thumping to the last in line. These aren't just movies, they are nightmares in flesh. Let's begin our descent. Conjuring universe, and it leans heavily into chills, dread, and the battle of good versus evil. Third on our list is Vicious. Imagine anxiety, depression, and terror combined. Polly struggles under mental weight when an old woman curses her with a box that demands payments. The box terrorizes her mind, body, and surroundings. It's not just a horror film, it's a psychological descent. The curse becomes a manifestation of internal suffering. The horror is both supernatural and deeply human. In fourth place, VHS Halloween. A Halloween-themed anthology built around haunted videotapes. Each tape unleashes twisted, blood-soaked stories, turning the act of watching into a fight for survival. It's retro horror with meta-commentary. The media you consume becomes the medium that consumes you. Fifth is the Toxic Avenger. A downtrodden janitor, Winston Guz, is transformed into Toxie after a toxic accident. Now he must fight ruthless corporations, safeguard his community, and protect those he loves. This is horror, yes, but with doses of dark humor and social critique. The gore and the political edge make this one a fun yet intense ride. Next is Called Stay. Kiara, a PhD researcher in African spirituality, and Miles, an ex-MMA fighter, face the collapse of their marriage. But what seems like domestic strife is invaded by supernatural forces. They must confront their inner demons to survive. Here, horror meets the personal. It speaks to trauma, love, loss, in spectral form. In seventh, Weapons. 17 children from the same classroom vanish one night at exactly 2:17 a.m. The film unfolds in multiple perspectives, each chapter revealing pieces of a sinister, interconnected mystery. This is slow burn horror, with dread building through ambiguity. What really happened? And who has the answers? Eighth, 28 years later. We return to the rage virus outbreak, now decades old. Spike, a 12-year-old boy, ventures into the mainland from an isolated island to save his ailing mother. Along the way, he confronts evolved infected, existential threats, and the remnants of civilized chaos. It's post-apocalyptic horror with emotional stakes. The evolution of the virus, the moral decay, the fight for family, it all compounds into a chilling gauntlet. Ninth is Bring Her Back. Two step-siblings, orphaned and under a new foster mother's care, are forced into an occult ritual. The boundary between caregiver and cultist blurs, and masks come off in terror. This one ratchets up tension and dread in domestic horror, the idea that home might be the most dangerous place of all. 10th, Fear Street, Prom Queen. Director Matt Palmer blends 80s slasher tropes, the dance, the masks, the tension, with modern sensibilities. It's a fun, gory ride, though critics argue it doesn't quite capture the spark of the original Fear Street trilogy. Still, it delivers those prom night chills and slasher thrills. Almost at the end, Until Dawn. A group of friends trapped in a death loop must survive the night. They search for their missing friend and answers about the loop before dawn, or face gruesome fates. It's fast, wicked, and relentless. If horror is a ride, this one keeps your heart hammering until the final frame. And finally, Hell of a Summer. Camp counselor Jason Hotberg arrives at Camp Pineway thinking his biggest worry is the generation gap with teen co-workers. Instead, a masked killer stalks the grounds, picking off counselors one by one. It's slasher horror in the woods, tension, isolation, visceral danger. A classic setup with modern twists. There you have it, 12 films, 12 nightmares, ranked from the most gut-wrenching to the last fright. Which one will your audience fear most? Which will you revisit, if you dare? If you enjoyed this list, hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment, which movie you would have put at the top. Until then, walk carefully, sleep lightly, and keep the lights on.